Ignore my onesie, but today is gonna turn out to be just a vlog because I woke up to this. That's my septic tank lid. And that's stuff coming out of my septic tank. Good morning, folks. What is that? I've had about 4 cups of coffee. I am fully dressed and my Crocs are in sport mode. So I am ready to take on the day. Let's start by calling a septic company for our major problem. Hi Anna, my name is Megan. I woke up this morning and I had liquid coming out of the top of my lid. Not like gushing, but just seeping.
When was the last time you had your tank?
I think it's within a year, and I think it was with you guys. It shouldn't be happening, is what I'm saying. Would they find any issues with the leach field upon pumping, or is that a separate inspection?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, they can check that. Yeah, you can check that. And that's probably what's going on if you just pumped it out recently.
Yeah, I'm thinking I should keep better records. Well, I got someone scheduled to come and pump the septic. And then if there are any problems beyond just needing a pump, which it shouldn't, then they can investigate that once it's pumped. I think I'm gonna need another jacket. So we have a bunch of scraps for the chickens after cutting up and portioning out our deer. So on the menu today we have trimmings off the deer that we don't want to or can't use. Looks like uneaten scrambled eggs and pancakes. So I feed them just about everything except for chickens. I don't feed chicken to chickens. I'm not a huge fan of prion diseases and I don't want to add to the risk. So they won't get all of this today. I'll just give them a little bit less feed and then take maybe like a handful of this and put it in here and then just feed that with their dinner as well, so I can feed less feed throughout the day. I'm not gonna grab that with my hand though. Good for everything. Now, as much as I am into using the entire animal, nose to tail, I've done some research on it. I really want to get more into it. I just don't know enough yet, and frankly, I don't have the time to learn it all right now. I'm also not going to be making rope out of tendons anytime soon, so at least I can rest assured that none of this went to waste, and at least it will give me eggs and compost. Yeah. Now we did bone the deer out at the hunting location and left the rest of the carcass, the spinal cord, and everything else that we needed to in that unit. We did hunt in a CWD unit, which is chronic wasting disease, a prion disease. So there are certain things we can't even legally bring back. I lost my clippers. I think there's a couple summer plants that need, there they are, that need to come out. That's not them. I couldn't find them, so I had to go get scissors from inside. I am always losing the clippers that I bring out here, so I just end up recycling household scissors in and out as I find and lose new clippers. Does anyone else do that? And it's hot now. That took about 3 seconds. So I'm not exactly sure when my killing frost was because I took out all of my peppers before then. We'd had a few small frosts and they were looking pretty sad and I just ripped them out. But these guys are definitely dead. These were some struggling potato plants and a cowpea plant that are gone. So I'm just gonna cut these guys out and leave them over the top to compost. They're honestly not worth me walking to the compost pile. So. just leave them here. I don't know what I'm gonna plant here though. I have quite a bit of space. Here, and I still have a few leeks that need to go in, but I'm not sure I want them here. I'm gonna set these here for now. So if I forget them later, just come back to the video. So I still have this space that has nothing in it, and I think that's where I'm gonna put the leeks. These ones aren't thriving. The soil is pretty poor. I did a bad job of amending the bags that I bought, and I didn't get a whole lot of bags because I ran out of money to do so. But I have put a couple layers of compost on the top, and I'd rather have the leeks in a raised bed than the survival in-ground beds over here. If you guys saw my Instagram story, I have baby garlic. I don't remember which kind this is. I would have to look back at my video, so you guys probably know better than I do. But this is the only row I've got. Let's see, 1, 2 in here that came up, and I haven't seen any more beyond that, so keeping an eye out. This rutabaga is a little weird. See these leaves right here? They got frost damaged within the last week or so, which is very interesting because, I mean, the whole plant has been out here growing for a while, several weeks, more than a month, but otherwise still doing great. I'm gonna harvest one of these bad boys, probably that one, and I think my first rutabaga recipe is going to be mashed rutabaga. I also had some frost damage here on the tops of my calendula, and I'm just so confused. The rest of my plants did fine. I honestly don't know how cold it got. I have temperature gauges set up at the front and the back, at the front of the house and in the garden, but they're not working anymore and I can't figure it out. I've changed out the batteries, so I think I'm just gonna have to get new ones. And I do love knowing how cold it gets in the garden, just because the temperature readings out here are quite different from in the city where they put them out. But all of my plants are pretty established, so I'm not incredibly worried unless we get something in the forecast that's less than 20 degrees. This happened overnight. Ah, the only one here too. Goodness, where are you? So this is cabbage worm damage. You can tell they like to eat their way around the leaves, but then there'll be big chunks missing from wherever they start out. There's also, I don't know if I can get it in here. So if you can see these little black things right here, they're like little black balls. It's poop. It's cabbage worm poop. Their poop looks a lot like tomato hornworm poop. They are green. They blend in very well with the leaves and the spines of the brassicas that they eat. So they're pretty hard to find, but sometimes you can catch them when they're enclosed in their little cocoon, which looks a bit like a spider web. See, there's the remnants of one. I can't find this dude, but I'll get him. Or I thought it was too cold. All the pest damage had stopped because it kept frosting every night, so the problem may take care of itself. But I also might spray some spinosad on it just in case, because I'm really excited about my cabbages. So I have some errands to run, and I need to do them this morning because I have to basically be here in the afternoon for when the septic guys show up. But I didn't get the watering done this morning with all the septic tank drama, so let me do that real quick. And then I also have to think of and make dinner for tonight. I think there's gonna be ground beef involved. I don't know yet. the septic guys are here. Ooh, that's nasty. The pump.
I don't think the pump's working. I'll pump it down and then we'll take it out.
Pepper, come on. Oh, the juice! Look at that. Well, the septic guys have left, and it's not good news, but it's not terrible news. The pump in my septic system has gone out, which means all of the wastewater and gray water that's going into the septic system isn't then subsequently being pumped out into the leach field. So not the worst thing that could have happened. There could have been a problem with my leach field, in which they would have then had to literally move mounds of earth and replace all of the piping that lets the wastewater drain away. So that would have sucked. But thankfully, it's just the pump. So we can still use the septic system without the pump having to be replaced. Not for very long. Obviously, the septic system has a tank where all of the wastewater is caught first. And he said with the size of my tank and the amount of people that live here, we have about 3 weeks of water usage before it gets full again. Hopefully, they'll have a pump ordered and replaced in that amount of time. And of course, we'll be watching our water usage for the next couple weeks, just to make sure we don't have to call them out to get it pumped again, because that is very expensive. Well folks, it's nearing the end of the day. I need to start dinner, and since I didn't sign off earlier, I figured I'd bring you along to harvest a couple of things that we need for dinner out of the garden. And I found my clippers. I left them exactly where I saw them earlier so I wouldn't forget. So I decided on tacos because we have the ground beef, and I was able to use everything that we already have at the house except for taco shells, which I was able to get at the corner store. Super awesome. But now we need lettuce, and I'm gonna harvest that one head of broccoli that you guys have seen on the garden tours. Ooh, pretty. I'm gonna load it up. Ooh. Take some of this for some tea. Well, thank you all for joining me on this impromptu vlog day. I will catch you next time.